Alright, so this is my second part to my Smallville, introducing the Smallville characters into the DCU, the DC Universe continuity. Um, I just want to talk about something I missed in my other video. Lucy, uh, Lucy Lane is actually in the comics. And I've gone back and read how they handled her story in the recent Supergirl books. Um, I don't like how they handled her. She was posing as Superwoman, which was pretty cool, as you can see in the picture. Her she's not a Kryptonian and she doesn't have superpowers. Her the suit she has on, as you can see in the picture, it enhances her abilities. It's like a power suit basically. What they did with her, she just simultaneously blew up. I don't like how they handle that. So I would keep it where she still is that she's still alive and she's still Superwoman. Um, Now getting down to the other characters, I'm gonna start with Julian since he was introduced kind of early on as Lex's younger brother as a kid. Um, in Smallville, Lex was having flashbacks of when he was a kid and he had a little brother Julian, who, you know, by accident their mother, or I should say, their mother kind of went crazy and she killed Julian as a baby. Now during the later seasons, he came back. Lex actually cloned him, and he came back, and he was posing. They gave him the name, instead of naming him Julian Luthor, they named him Gabriel Grant, which is interesting. And I thought, well, why waste the character? Why just kill him off permanently? Which they did in one of the seasons. I forget what season all this stuff happened. And I thought it'd be interesting to bring him back, where you know, he's still alive, and his purpose would basically be to create a group known as Crest. What they would basically do is Julian would be totally against what Lex Luthor stands for, which is he would be um, kind of the anti-hero type of person. He doesn't like Lex at all. He despises his older brother and he thinks he should be dead. So he creates a group that can do that. And he would be a very three-dimensional character. He wouldn't be like I say, he wouldn't be just a good guy, or he wouldn't really be a bad guy. He would just, like I said, be an anti-hero. Um, and Julian would basically help create this group to take down Lex. And his character would, his relationship with Superman would be that, Superman knows who he is. He knows that he's related to Lex Luthor, and he kind of convinces him. He helps the kid. He kind of convinces him to fight for the good side. Now, what Superman doesn't know is that Julian is creating his own group, because Julian believes that Superman's no cure rule is kind of outdated and it doesn't work. So he creates a group called Crest. And here's where the other character comes in, Lucas. Now, Lucas was introduced as being a half brother of Lex. He was a character that Lionel Luthor, who was their dad, he pretty much, he was sleeping around with a lot of women, and he had a son on the side who was Lucas. Now, Lucas's character to me is interesting because he was a gambler and he would basically rip off other people by gambling and cheating. So he would be kind of like the brains of the group, and they would both be against what Lex is standing for, but they wouldn't be exactly heroes. They would be kind of like a group like the Secret Six is kind of like that, but not as brutal. But they would still kill, but only when necessary. I guess you can kind of call them. I don't want to say. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. You can kind of call them the. I don't want to say X-Force of the Marvel Universe, but the guys that are willing to take it to the next level in order to get the bad guys off the street. And their main goal would be to take down guys like Lex Luthor and guys who are in a political area who need to get out of office. Like they're it wouldn't just be in Metropolis. They would go in areas like Gotham, Keystone City, anywhere they can. They would be the guys working behind the shadows, so to speak. Kind of like what Batman does, but they're willing to kill where Batman isn't. And as this is going on, they would meet Lucy, who they would kind of bring into the group, and they would have another member they would bring into the group, and Jason Todd. So it would be 4 members. They're called the Crest. And basically, that's what they do. They go around and they take out, they kind of go after the political guys who are corrupt, and they try to take them down. And that's how I would handle those characters. Like I said, it's not my ultimate story yet. It's kind of vague right now, but that's how I would bring the characters into the DC universe. That's how I would handle them. And they would be kind of the answer to problems that people, the people who are just looking to really get the job done, where the superheroes are kind of like, oh, we don't kill. Well, you can call the Crest, the group called the Crest, and they would keep building up members. They would keep recruiting new members as time went on. And that's how I would really handle these characters and bringing them into the DC universe. I know a lot of people in my other video were complaining that they didn't want them in there because I guess they thought I was going to use them as bad guys. No, they're not going to be bad guys. Lucas and Julian aren't going to be bad guys. They're just going to be, they're going to have their own group, their own organization, where they can basically do what they need to do. It's not the best thought out story right now. I'm still working on kind of a script, for it. But I might post it up on fan fiction, but I don't know. Fan fiction is kind of weird, so I just thought I would give the idea to YouTube and see what you guys thought about it and get your feedback on it. So, those are the characters I would introduce from Smallville into the regular DC universe. Chloe, Julian, and Lucas, and Lucy, which she was already in the comics, but she's still a very vague character. No one really knows about her. I would really build her character up into where she's, she would have a conflict with General Lane, who is in the comics right now, and her sister Lois, and she would be kind of conflicting with those characters, and I would just kind of build off that.